Got to do both. What's that? Hitting record?
Hitting the record button. Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually 18 minutes into the conversation. And that was just the pre. I haven't talked about the episode yet. We're just like hanging out.
No, Jeff, you and I are like an hour and 38 minutes into this conversation right now.
There's a lot going on these days. There's a lot to talk about.
There is. Well, more than the show.
Yeah. There is more to the world than Babylon 5.
There is. It's true.
It's true. And that's too bad. That's actually too bad.
I feel very somber being at episode 15 in season 5 right now.
Really?
Yeah, like the reality of I know I've been saying it for the last couple weeks, like the reality that we have like 8 more episodes with this crew. Yes, we have a couple movies and stuff, but like that's it.
Yeah.
Like if it, like I'm feeling this is the end.
Yeah. It's a big deal. It is a really big
deal.
It is. And it's not something we've talked about it a little bit, but I think, what was it? A year and a half, two and a half. How long ago did we start this thing?
About 2 years. It's right at 2. We're right at 2 years.
Yeah, just a little over 2 now, like 2 in a week or 2. I'm a manager. I don't do math. So 2 years. 2 years ago, we started this whole thing, and literally we're both just like, hey, the best thing about this? It's got a built-in end date. And now we can smell that end date, and I'm just like, I don't want this to end.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's, but it's not the end though, right?
Right. It's actually the beginning.
Because, it's the end of what I'm calling phase 1. Because we'll have this, and then we have 4 movies or 5 movies. Because didn't In the Beginning count as one of the 5 movies?
The Gathering, you're saying. Yeah.
The Gathering. Yeah, that's the one I meant.
Yeah. So I think it's 4 more.
So we actually have 4 more movies to do.
We're probably wrong, but I think it's 4.
Right. And then there's the animated movie that came out like a year or 2 ago. Right? Well, not 2. I guess a year ago now. Yeah, it was like this time last summer, right?
Jeez. We're fine. We're fine.
It's all right. Well, it was Memorial Day weekend, right? It was 2 years ago, Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
so
that's when we started.
2 years and change right now. Yeah. So
good thing we take notes for the show.
We just don't put dates on them.
I know.
But anyway, the point being, so like we've got the 4 movies, we've got the animated movie coming out. We still have like the autobiographies. I think we got JMS and we got Claudia Christensen. Yeah. We got those 2. And I know that Babylon 5 for the second time is going to happen.
Yeah.
As far as Babylon 5 goes. But like there's other material.
There's comic books, there's novels, there's so much. And you know what?
Here's the deal. I'm not reading a novel a week about Babylon 5.
Agreed.
Brent doesn't read that. Brent just doesn't read like that. Sorry, guys.
Same.
Like, I'm sure they're phenomenal.
We could do 2 weeks. No, I'm just not. Yeah, we could do a couple chapters a week, but
it took me 12 years to read the first Lord of the Rings novel.
Yeah, maybe we should.
12 years.
We could tighten that up a little bit. It's a little bit.
Right.
But no, some people brought it up across the various channels on the community. But the idea, and we've summarily vetoed this in the past, but the idea of us doing reaction videos to our early podcast episodes, I might be there for it on some of them.
Oh, really?
Maybe. Like this
I
is.
I don't
just put it
I don't
out
mind
there.
revisiting it. You know what I want is I want the community to react to our early videos.
Oh,
I want them to do it. Like. I
like that a lot.
Yeah, hey, you guys go do it out there. Yeah. Like, if that's you, if you're like, yes, this is me, contact Jeff and I. We're not making any promises, but we'll have a conversation. And if it goes forward, there could potentially be a new playlist on our channel that pops up.
Yeah, it could be kind of cool.
Be fun.
Babylon 5 first at gmail.com. The number 5, the word first. If that's you. But also, there's a couple. I think it'd be kind of fun.
I'm not promising anything. That may never happen. That may be the worst idea ever.
It might be a cool thing though for us to maybe like pick one, like go back to season 1 and pick one, like maybe Signs and Portents. Like maybe we go back and we do a reaction to our thing of Signs and Portents. We throw it up on the Patreon. We see what people think, and if it's a thing, it's a thing. If it's not, it's not. But and I'm just thinking out loud right now. Welcome to our business meeting that's still going on.
There you go. It occurs to me that I'm sure a big part of Babylon 5, the prep work of Babylon 5 for the second time, is at the very least re-listening to our episode that we did covering that. So maybe even on fast forward a little bit.
1.5.
Yeah,
and then those.
If there's a particular reaction in that thing, like we may clip that and do it in Babylon 5 for the second time. Like that could also probably happen as well. That'd probably be the better way to do it.
Remember when we were completely moronic and said this? Well, now we know this.
Like, oh yeah, dude was foreshadowing everything about Londo.
It's world building. World building. Yeah, you're right. It was. We get it. We see it now.
Yeah, I see it now. Why did you yell at me then?
I was 3 episodes in, for goodness sake.
Jeff, a long time ago we said we weren't going to have these big long openings.
We haven't had long ones.
To the material.
We haven't had long ones in a long time.
But this one's on about 6 minutes. We get to the show. Listen, guys, we are here to discuss season 5, episode 15, Darkness Ascending. And what you guys out there are about to watch is Jeff and I. This is how a podcast works. Like, we're going to peel back the layers because we're recording an audio podcast. You guys get the behind the scenes of us doing that exactly as it happens. We just have this cool fancy graphic around us. But this is how it happens. There's always the like 30 to 45, maybe hour and a half, 2 hour long, like we're just shooting the breeze before we actually do the show. And then sometimes there's something after, sometimes not. It just depends. Yeah, that's what you guys are about to watch. We're going to record this episode, and that means you guys get all the funny outtakes. You get the rabbit trails, you get the run-ons, you get the conversations that my good friend Jeff over there is going to cut out if they don't work for the main show that we have going on. And Jeff, as we always say, this is the real show.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
This is the better show.
You're in the right place. You're here.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, guys, we're going to jump into this. Hey, as you guys comment down below, do I say this on this show, or does it just the Brent watches? I don't even remember.
The no spoilers?
Yeah. Don't spoil anything down in the comments, guys, because we have 8 episodes left. Like, we're so close. And then you guys can talk all you want about everything. Just word vomit everything you know about Babylon 5 in 8 episodes. And we can go from there. Okay, wait, actually maybe like 14 because we got the movies to go through.
Yeah. And we'll find some way to stretch it out a little bit longer just because it's fun.
Right.
It's fun to make you wait. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
At least I should have buffed him just once.
Humans form communities.
And from that diversity comes strength.
Now get the hell out of our galaxy!
The year is 2024.
The name of the podcast, Babylon 5.
For the first time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin, and I am the one who was.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I am the one who will be.
And we're watching Babylon 5 for the first time for you, the one who is.
That's right. Jeff and I are 2 veteran Star Trek podcasters that are taking that analytical lens we gained as Star Trek podcasters, and we're applying it right here to Babylon 5. No, we're not comparing it to Star Trek and all that sort of stuff. No, we're just overanalyzing Babylon 5, searching for the important messages that Babylon 5 is delivering in its own unique way.
The important Babylon 5 messages, not Star Trek messages. Because this is not, as Brent said, a Star Trek podcast, not a comparison podcast or anything like that, but to keep us honest, because we are Star Trek podcasters, we play the rule of 3. This is a game that limits the both of us to a total of no more than 3 references to Star Trek per episode.
That's it. 3. One of those plays. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
And if we make one of those references, you're going to hear... Because while we are most definitely not a Star Trek podcast, those references are bound to slip in from time to time. Now, along with our rule of 3, there is another game we like to play at the end of the show where we try to guess what next week's episode is going to be about. I'm going to try that again. Now, along with our game rule of 3, there is another game that we like to play at the end of the show where we try to guess what next week's episode is going to be about based on title alone. We don't look at thumbnails. We don't read blurbs. We don't read the bad blurbs on Netflix or the bad blurbs on IMDb or basically just bad blurbs. We don't even read good blurbs, although I'm not sure that those exist. Anyway, this is the part of the show where we like to play a game called
Time to Pay the Piper.
And this is where we revisit our prediction from last week about what this week was going to be about and see how close we were. So, Jeff, what did you say Darkness Ascending was going to be about?
That Lennier was going to find something that links the attacks to the Centauri.
Boo.
And that he was going to be really stupid about it. He was going to shove it in people's faces. He was going to yell, make a whole bunch of noise. The Alliance was going to overhear about it, and then all hell was going to start breaking loose.
That was such a gimme, Jeff. It was such a gimme coming out of the episode. Really, that's the one you went with. Of course, I've done a lot of gimmies in my predictions as well. Yeah, listen, you were spot on, and then you just went too far with it.
Yep.
And I'm not even going to count the going too far with it because you were so spot on. That's exactly what happened in this episode. It wasn't the entire episode, but it certainly was the main crux of it. So, Jeff, I'm going to give you an 80%.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's because it was 80% of the show, of the crux of the show. So
kind of was. Yeah, thanks.
Nailed it.
What did you think?
Well, I said that this was going to be the minions or the telepaths beginning to move into positions of power in the universe. And I wasn't really sure which one it was going to be. It could have actually been both. I thought it might be. But yeah, they were going to kind of be, their darkness was ascending. They were going to be rising to power, taking over a little bit and pending for whatever we've got coming up here in the ultimate episodes.
Well, the telepaths definitely took a step towards possibly maybe having positions of some kind. So you're not getting 0 on this one, but I think about a 0.1 on it, because they did mention telepaths and they were in it and there were positions.
You did 0.1%. I have a lot of respect for that. I'm just glad it's not a 0. Well, Jeff, those were our predictions. Our predictions are one thing. What actually happened in the show is a whole different thing. So for those out there who are listening along, who maybe didn't watch this one first heading into this week, or perhaps they've never seen it at all and they're just listening to us, in which case, welcome to the journey. Jeff, why don't you tell the folks out there what this episode actually was about?
Well, Babylon 5 has been attacked. The Zocalo is on fire. Sheridan is a bloody heap, and it looks like he's dead. Garibaldi, he's injured, and he's verbally attacked by Franklin. Where were you? He screams. They needed him, and Garibaldi was, once again, MIA. That is until he isn't. You see, from around the corner, a non-injured Garibaldi emerges, channeling his inner Blaine from Predator as he is hefting some serious firepower. Then he wakes up, suddenly, in a cold sweat. That was all a dream. But he shouldn't have woken up. At least that's what an eye-glowy Lita Alexander tells him, sitting on his bed and saying that she's learning all the cool stuff that the Vorlons left her with. Oh, then he wakes up again, still in a cold sweat though. No Lita there this time, but none other than Lise Hamption-Edgars-Garibaldi walks into his room, and this is not a dream, but he's still very happy to see her. Apparently, she's been waiting like 14 episodes for him to come back to Mars, but she's here now, and it doesn't take long for her to discover that he's hitting the bottle again. She wants him to come back to Mars with her, but he's telling her one thing and not telling anyone else that he's actually planning on going. He's basically trying to keep everybody happy without doing anything more than sneaking a drink here and there. More on that later. Veer and Londo are working through their day. Even though they're in totally different roles, they really aren't interacting any differently. Veer's going through Londo's calendar for him, and it turns out that nobody really wants anything to do with the Centauri. In fact, Centauri intelligence thinks it knows that the other races think they know that the Centauri are probably responsible for the shipping lanes attacks. Makes for a pretty awkward day. And speaking of awkward, do you remember back, 110-ish episodes of this podcast ago, when a much different looking Jakar propositioned Lita Alexander to get her DNA to, hopefully make Narn telepaths? Took her a while, on that one, but she agrees. But at quite a price for the Narn. She wants a boatload of cash, a couple of ships that can carry maybe a couple hundred telepaths apiece, and she wants complete silence about what they're doing. Also, the Narn are going to get access to a whole bunch of human telepaths and their DNA. They agree, and Lita is eager to send her people out to find a new homeworld. Then there's Lennier. He's out doing those ranger exercises, and he's intercepted some communications, but he's really struggling to decode them. The whole no doors into the executive offices at Babylon 5 finally has consequences. Sheridan overhears some stuff and orders the Maria back to the station. Lennier, knowing that he's on the cusp of something, all he has to do is decode these messages, jakes a shuttle, or steals a fighter, and heads into hyperspace. But it's cool. Even though we were told that they only have 7 hours of oxygen, turns out they have like 30 some odd hours, and that can actually last 40 some odd with some uncomfortable looking meditation, which is a good thing because it takes him more than that long for his theory to pay off. Big ol' Centauri ship comes up behind him, and he latches onto it, records everything that happens. Some other Centauri ships ambush and blast a bunch of unsuspecting ships, and he gets that recording back to Sheridan and Delan. Knowing what a big deal this is, Delan goes out of her way to hug Londo in the hallway. Then they call a session for the Alliance worlds. Every single one of them, except for the Centauri. And Londo finds out about that. Now remember Garibaldi? Well, he and Lise, they've been struggling through this episode. She still wants him to go back to Mars with her, but that is all off the table now. Everyone knows that war is right around the corner, so he tells her to get off the station and go home now, immediately, while she still can. And then, just like all the Alliance worlds, we are left waiting for tomorrow's meeting with the Alliance worlds. Brent, was this one darkness ascending or descending for you?
So, I can't say I loved this episode, but this episode feels very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
This one feels like something you and I have been asking for pretty much the entire season to happen. That it feels like those final tumblers are locking into place before something big happens. Like we've experienced this, Jeff, once or twice a season for the last like 5 seasons. Like I'm pretty familiar with this feeling. It has that feel to it to me. By the end of this episode, for the first time in season 5, for me though, I find myself going, I want to hit next.
Yes.
I want to hit next. Like, truthfully, for most of season 5, even after the very long night of Londo Mollari, that was a phenomenal episode. I've not been like, all right, I got to find out what happens next. I just haven't been there. I'm like, I need to press next. Like I'm in that spot. I find myself there again, which is a great feeling to have.
It really is.
Because I've been very worried about this season. Lots of super important information and bits happened throughout this episode. My criticism of this though, right? And we've said this for the last couple weeks. So here we are, Jeff. 8 episodes left of the entire series. We have 8 hours left with these people. Like that's all we got. You know, like, yes, I know we have some movies. The folks out there didn't have all these movies waiting in the wings. Like, this is what we have. To stop and spend last week on a training op was weird to me. You take Delan sending Lennier out there and then mush that into the same episode with what Lennier did today. That's a solid episode.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure people out there are clicking their but he needed space and they needed time to do something and whatever story plot. Okay, fine. But at this point of the season, like,
well, there were 6 other episodes they could have done that in, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was glad that they didn't just like recall Lennier, and him going out last week just didn't even matter at all. Like I'm glad to see that he was still out there, that you were right about that particular thing. In the end though, for me, Jeff, while I didn't love this episode, this is not an episode that I'm like, I'm watching this all the time. I see this episode come on TV. I'm not changing the channel. I'm not channel surfing. I might go check out whatever else is on during a commercial, but then I'm coming back to this episode, you know? Um, I love what this episode was doing though. I love what was going on. And I think, Jeff, this is just my prediction. I think this episode is probably going to end up in the top half of the season. Not because this episode is so strong, but because season 5 has been rather weak. And I like in another season, I think this would be a middle to lower tier episode. In this season, I think this is going to be one of the better episodes. Like I whatever's coming, I think people out there will say like, this is where it starts. Like this is going to mark. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. I been through a few of these before through Babylon 5. So I hope each successive episode from here on out is better than the one before it. So there's the Very Long Night of Londo Mollari. We have 7 episodes. I want this episode to be no higher than number 9.
Okay.
Is where I want this episode to land. Jeff, what do you think of this episode?
Almost exactly the same. This was 100% a setup episode for other stuff. That's not a bad thing at all.
Right.
Put all the pieces on the board, all that good stuff. We're ready to rock. I'm in the same spot where I didn't not like the episode, but I wasn't in love with it. What this episode did is exactly what you described. It made me desperately want to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
That's this one. I think my favorite thing though in the whole thing, and I said it in the recap, but like how is the not having doors in the council chambers or in their offices, how has this not caused a problem before? It's pretty amazing.
You know, I got to tell you, where I went to college, in the dorms, we didn't have locks on our door.
Okay. Wow.
Like it was just it was a small school. Everybody kind of knew each other. They did have some problems sometimes, and I know they thought about, but they just it was an open door policy. It got to the point where if we're not gonna have locks on the doors, we would actually tape the little thing that holds the door shut.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to turn the knob. Like we would tape that shut, so all you had to do was just push on the door.
Yeah.
To get in. And people would walk in sometimes at some rather compromising spots, and I could tell you all sorts of stories, but for the most part, it really wasn't that big of a deal. So,
but you weren't talking about intergalactic.
Maybe for the most part, it's just not that big of a deal here.
You probably weren't talking about intergalactic ramifications for decisions that you were making. Like it's big stuff to, I don't know, just take those meetings, and especially with the way, like the setup of it, like Delan is looking at the screen, having the conversation. That opening isn't even in her peripheral. Like, I don't know, seems irresponsible. I just love that there were consequences for it. That's all. It's excellent TV that there's, hey, this is our set design. And at some point someone probably said, hey, maybe we should have this. And they're like, we'll write that in. We'll make it a thing.
I love that Sheridan totally did the thing that like he comes in and like he stands in the door and then like he backs out.
It's like, nope. And then he doesn't say anything. He just pieces out the other direction, like, oh no, it's all good.
Did the camera even go into focus on him? Like you saw him, but I think he was blurry like the whole time.
That's so good. I thought that was great.
Well, where do you want to go on this, man? There's the Garibaldi stuff. There's the Londo stuff. There's Lennier, and then there's Sheridan and Delan.
Let's hit the telepath stuff really quick.
And then the telepath stuff. Yeah.
I think that one's pretty quick.
Okay.
I thought it was fun. Just, it was, I feel I'm lost. Let me just start there. I'm lost on this whole telepath thing. Where I was prior to this episode was, we've got Bester out there with a mothership. We got Garibaldi probably, or in orbit of, thinking about Bester. So we have him as a concern. We got it made very clear to us a couple weeks ago that he hates the normals, the mundanes, right?
Yep.
So got that. We have Lita over here with a group of blips that are disenfranchised, that are looking for a home world, but they remember Byron. And so we've been building to this crescendo of telepaths blowing up.
Yeah.
But now she's trying to swing a business deal to go like surveying worlds for, I don't know.
Well, I mean, so Lita is trying to get to the end result of having the telepaths have their own homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
Not justice for Byron. Not there's this impending battle coming. Not we're gonna go riot until we get our way. Just listen, we're gonna try to go strike a deal and see if we can't figure out how to get our own planet. And it's going to be a really bad pitch to the absolute wrong person. I got to tell you, though, this did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Same.
Because when she's talking to this dude and he's like, yeah, we can't just do it because like our insurance isn't going to let it. We're involved with Psychor and they're going to pull their people. We just can't do it. He was totally fair with her.
Yeah.
1,000%. Like, I appreciate how, it's one of the few times I appreciate how corporate someone is,
Yeah.
like,
he's like,
no,
no, but also
we
it's
can't
cool.
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wish you well. I wish we could do something, but this is, we are not this guy. And he says this line. He's like, you need somebody who has major resources, but is not tied to the Psychor. I in no way, shape, or form thought Jakar in the Narn.
Dude,
you know what I thought?
What did you think?
I thought the Lise Hampton, like they don't have ties to the Psychor. They've got phenomenal resources. She was just in dude's mind. We thought they were supposed to be married. Jeff, I'm just going to go ahead and say Garibaldi and Lise are not married. I don't know why we thought they were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are not.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you that drives me so crazy because I could have sworn up and down they said that they were. And anyway, I'm just going to go with no, they're not. But still, like, it seemed like that was a real easy way for them to go.
Yeah.
To getting into that. And then that keeps the telepaths with Mars and Besters in sight and all that sort of stuff. But no, we went back to an episode 1 conversation and you're like, have Lita and Jakar really not talked since episode 1?
I spent time like thinking. I didn't go back and look, but I was just like, I don't think there's been any interaction between them.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think there has been. And they even said it, like, we haven't really talked since that conversation.
And understandably, that's not one you just really dust off and, pick up from again, but it's a great callback. To me, I'll just say this, that because they didn't go the Edgar's Industries route, I have this little voice back here in the back of my head telling me this horrible thing that I'll just say right now. If we get to episode 22, and what I think is going to not happen now doesn't happen, I'm going to be kind of furious.
What is that?
I think the whole telepath thing is done. Like, it's just fizzled.
You really?
I don't know that I think it, but that's what I'm almost thinking. It's like,
wait, Jeff, are you telling me that the Korra's mother, the Korra's father is going to be the last Bester episode?
It can't. Well, so it can't be. I have a note on the Garibaldi thing. I'll pull this in that, like, I'm still back and forth on, like, is he drinking because he's expressing his disease, or is he drinking because he's trying to block that Asimov that Bester put in? And just, I mean, the whole thing, I'm just like, did they just give up on the telepath thing? This is the end of their story. I don't think this is what it is. I'm just saying, if this is the direction they're going, and I can see the road paved, and I'm going to be furious. But are they just like, yeah, you're going to grab some Narn ships, and you're going to disappear, and we're never going to touch on this again. And we're not going to have Bester again. And Garibaldi's just drunk. He's not doing a thing. And I'm going to be like, all of that Byron bull for nothing?
For the record, I think Garibaldi is drinking not because of Bester. I think he's just drinking and he's using whatever excuse he can possibly find. We'll talk about that more in just a few moments. I don't think we've seen the last of Bester, and I don't think we've seen the last of the telepath thing.
We can't have. Like,
I don't.
This is the trap door. Yeah. This is the exit for the whole storyline, and I saw it plain as day, and I'm just like, oh, they can't do this. They can't do this.
Well, before we get there, let's finish up this whole Lita Jakar, because the interaction that Lita and Jakar had, the two interactions they had in this episode were kind of interesting.
Very, yeah.
Like, Jakar's still trying to put the moves on Lita. He's like, oh yeah, I remember what we said. We could do a natural mating or direct mating, I think was his actual word, right?
You know what it reminds me of is like a 20th high school reunion where it's like, hey, do you remember that one conversation after biology by locker 316 where you said and I said, like, it totally had that vibe of like, oh, this might happen.
You want to head over there right now? Like, I won't tell anybody.
Right?
You know? Yeah, it was, and he's talking about, it's a shame we never got to discover your pleasure threshold. And she's like, I ain't got one, Jack. And I was like, well, Lita's putting the moves back on Jakar, man. She's using her wiles.
And I loved him. He's just like, ooh. Like, who hasn't been there with somebody where it's just like, oh.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, the grown-up adult in me looks at that and goes, that's bait. Stay away from that, Jakar.
Yep.
That's not going to turn out well for you. Lita comes back with an indecent proposal of her own, right? And I can't decide if the price is too high or not for her. You know, we're going to give you all the genetic material you want from me and all my friends. She's saying that on behalf of all her friends. Like, But, and by that, I mean the price to the Narns.
Mm-hmm.
They want a smack ton of money. They want a bunch of ships that are going to go deep cruising. I'm surprised she didn't ask for an empty planet on the rim of their space or something. I'm surprised she just didn't go for that. Like, grant us all of our wishes and you can have whatever you want. Like,
you know what this might be? So quick, I have a thought, but I just had this other one pop in. We've postulated on a couple episodes that this is that, like, the secret spinoff, you know, episode thing. Was there maybe, or is there maybe an idea for like Babylon 5, the telepaths, you know? So like, this is the thing where they go off and then whatever happens, but then we pick it up another series where they go and try and look for stuff. Maybe this could be another one of those.
That actually feels like the spinoff for the comic book series to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Is what that kind of feels like to me.
But my thought on the price for things was, I am wildly unclear on the state of the Narn regime. So
do they have the money and resources to do this?
Yeah. So we got back in season 4 where they're like, oh, Jakar, you're the greatest. You should be our leader. And he's like, power should not sit with one person. And now we have this where they can just throw money and ships at somebody for the possibility of breeding telepaths. Like, I guess they're fine. They must have had, I don't know, reparations or something, because seemed to be in really good shape pretty soon after the war ended, or the occupation. I guess the war ended a while ago.
So here's my last kind of note on this. We have seen since season 1, Psycor trying to manipulate the psychic gene to breed stronger telepaths, maybe to just breed telepaths, and they're not good at it.
No.
You know, they're just not good at it. And I know there was Ivanova and her mom, right? But is the psychic gene one is that passed down? And is that acted like what is that like? Because I don't know that just introducing telepathic genetic material into the Narn society is going to reactivate latent genes within the Narn. And by the way, wouldn't all those people actually only be part Narn, not full Narn?
Yeah.
At that point,
or are they just trying, because it's not even the same speed. It still seems that, hey, you have hundreds or thousands of samples now, but it sure seems like a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's that whole thing we have here right now. Hey, we did all these medical experiments on mice.
Yeah.
And it turned out really great, so it's probably going to turn out great for you. Oh, shoot. No, that didn't turn out well at all. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So here's a question. So we know from War Without End, I think it was, Sheridan and Delan are going to have a baby.
Yes, David.
have they had any conversations about can a Earthling and a Minbari, or even half Minbari, whatever Delan is now, like have they had those conversations about whether or not they can breed? Like, we know they will one day, right? But like,
we did back, I can't remember the episode. It was second season episode, but it was the one with the hair, right? The picture of Delan trying to figure out her hair, and then she and Ivanova started bonding. And at the end, they were kind of like, so hey, insert
I have these cramps.
Cramp menstruation joke. So I think that was meant to, I'm going to use this thing. It's just, that was meant to plant the seed that yes, indeed, because of her chrysalisine, she's going to be able to breed.
But what that then says is that it is likely that full Minbari and humans cannot interbreed.
It's like, I would agree.
Right. Like Delen's a special case because she went through the transformation. So how are how advanced are the Narns in geneticism stuff?
Well, they might be they're a pretty homogenized race. They all look pretty much exactly, maybe that's the way they were designed, or maybe that's GMOs. I don't know.
You wonder if they do have like different like skin tones on Narn. Like, you're orange, but you're brown, and then that one's red, and then this person over here is green. Like do they have different skin tones?
That one's orange with brown spots, and this one's brown with orange spots. So I hate them, and I'm going to chase them to the end of the universe to destroy them.
Yeah.
Connect those dots for yourself.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think this plan's going to work.
I don't either.
I don't think this plan's going to work.
I'm not a geneticist. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a manager. I don't know much of anything, but like, I've got my peas right here, and in my little 4-section chart that you used with your peas to see what moves. And we introduced a green bean into the peas. It's not going to work.
Right.
I thought his little test on her, hey, there's one more thing. You got to spy on people.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty dirty.
I actually rather hated this moment. What do you mean when you say you thought it was dirty?
That it was just like, that was not appropriate or cool. And I almost think in a way that Lita, at that point, Lita almost should have been like, you don't really take us seriously, do you? I don't know if I want to take your stuff at this now. But also, I wonder if she knew that he was playing. Like, was she able to read that? Like,
oh yeah. So here's my problem with that. He comes in, he says, we're going to need you to spy on some ambassadors. And she goes, I have a moral code and I just can't do it. What I thought she meant in that moment was she can't give up her DNA. She can't do the mating. Okay. She's not going to sell her body. Because to me, now I'm not a psychic person, to me, that is a much bigger deal than, hey, we need you to spy on these guys over here, which, by the way, isn't against your rules, because you don't have rules against that anymore, because you're not part of Psycor, who does have those old rules. And then it turns out that's actually she was more offended at the idea that he wanted them to read other people, which, by the way, this is the same girl we saw jacking up in Garibaldi's mind at the beginning of the episode. She apparently has no problems crossing over into people's minds. Like, and then they turn it out. I was like, there was just an incongruency there to me that just didn't mesh up. Like, why was this more important? I didn't get it, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think on both sides, like, it didn't. What a huge risk for the Narn. Because if she said yes, what was he gonna? Was he really gonna say no to the deal? And I don't know. Just the whole thing. I don't know. Didn't serve a very positive purpose for either.
Frankly, you know what that really sounds like is hey, I'm going to float this idea. I want you to do it.
Right.
Oh, no, you're not. Oh, I was just joking anyway.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Test. I wasn't serious about that. That's actually exactly what that rings out to me.
Yeah.
Except Jakar seemed like he was being 1,000% real about it. So
yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. We talked about Garibaldi a couple times. You want to dive into that?
Yep. Let's do it. His alcoholic guilt is getting to him, and the metaphor was really strong in that dream.
Yes, very, very.
he's got his hand down and it's covering him up. He's like, the more you fight it, the more you'll lose. Right? He's like, give in, and here comes sober Garibaldi with a boss gun. That, like, I want that prop.
I'm pretty sure it's the same gun he had in Babylon Squared in his flash forward where he was like,
no,
I
really?
got these guys.
Is it? Oh,
I bet.
yeah.
Like, I remember it was just this massive cannon that he was holding in that thing.
Yeah. Where it it goes up his body and his alcoholism is consuming him, and everybody's, he's beat up and scarred and it's hurting other people. And Jeff, I'm going to say it right now. I don't know what comes next, but if anything is foreshadowing what's coming up, because Sheridan says at some point in this episode, I've got something really big for you.
We're going to need you more than we've ever needed you before.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to need you more than we've ever needed you before. And it's like, okay, his alcoholism is going to screw that whole deal up.
I feel like Babylon 5 gives us a 3-episode like radius on something like that. It's like he says that within the next 3 episodes, well, the next 2 episodes after this.
Yeah.
Hey, Garibaldi, we need this thing. Oh yeah, boss, I got you. Wonk. Yeah.
So Lita's sitting on his bed when he wakes up. This is Inception level now, because this is a dream within a dream, right? Like, and you're not going to understand this, Jeff, but, well, actually you will now. Lita is a Gould.
Yeah.
Lita's a Gould.
Whoosh.
Yeah. I was like, oh! And how inappropriate was it for Lita to do? I mean, that is pure on invasion of everything.
Yeah, that was.
And she's doing it to Garibaldi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like her and Garibaldi are friends, so if she gets caught, like, they're gonna sort of slough it off. This guy, what's Garibaldi's title, Jeff? Remind me.
Director of Covert Intelligence.
Okay, this is like somebody just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna grab the Secretary of Defense and just pop into his head."
To your earlier point, right? Yeah, we're not going to spy on ambassadors. I was just hanging out in the Director of Covert Intelligence's head, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's what I mean. The incongruency of that. Like, I really thought that she was talking about her own virtue, so to speak, Jeff, that we know Byron stole. Lisa's back.
Yeah.
Not the wife.
Apparently. Yeah, let me read you my exact note on that, actually. I'm not so sure he and Lisa are married. It's really not that clear.
Jeff, the only consolation that I have in this whole thing, because I would just think that Brent's just being an idiot now, is the fact that you also think this.
Yeah, it was in it was Rising Star. I think it was Rising Star.
Rising Star.
Yeah,
it was the next one was Deconstruction of Falling Star.
They're in bed and he's just like, "Hey, everybody's gonna say I married the head of this for this," and it's just like, "Oh, okay, so they ran off and did a dime store wedding. So cool, okay."
Yeah, and he's now going to be in charge of. I mean, was that like a flash to the future?
Well, I'll tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't a thread that was dropped and never picked up again, because Brent, those don't exist in Babylon 5.
We're going to have a whole show on threads that they brought up in Babylon 5 and that they just dropped. And we're going to make so many people mad. Just like, they didn't drop it. They picked it up here and complete. And I'm like, no.
They get mad every time we bring this line of reasoning up. It's happened quite a bit lately because there's a lot of dropped threads in the series. Some people have brought up the novels, the comic books. Thank you for that. Yes. But in the series, Abrahamo Lincoln, for anybody? Good thing they made that guy.
Here's one. Do you remember when Sheridan said, conspiracy theories is something like a passion of mine?
Yeah. For 14 seconds it was. Or 13. For Bureau 13 seconds it was a passion of his.
Listen, I understand Bureau 13, like there's some thing and they just let it go, but like, dude, you could rename that thing. Like,
yeah.
There's remember when Bester this is probably the one that stands out to me the most. Your war is now my war. Or, oh, here's one. What about draw on Epsilon 3? We're going to save that in our back pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
we saved it just to tell everybody about our neat pirate radio show.
Right.
That's
like,
it.
It didn't actually come into play at all.
Can we bring up the poor dude working at the restaurant? I felt so bad for him. He's trying so
Really?
hard.
Because I thought he got everything he deserved.
I feel bad for him because in my head, he's the guy who's been taking the phone calls from him, ordering his pizzas. And he's just like,
oh, yeah.
I know what you want. Stop messing around. We've been here before. Yeah.
I didn't think that because I didn't think this was the same place.
Yeah, he called the Fresh Air Restaurant. Who apparently does delivery.
Well, because he said like the last time he was here, he was there with Sinclair and people like doing something, and then everything went to hell.
Yeah, that was the Chrysalis episode way back, which was another cool callback. That was neat.
Sure.
I think that was the last time he was there, but he's been ordering. He's got the Uber Eats thing going.
Right.
And I think that poor guy's been dealing with him every time he calls.
I just, it's one of those. I didn't think that Garibaldi was inappropriate with the waiter, the way he got called out. She's like, Michael,
I agree.
What do you do? It's like, dude, I told you 3 times, just bring me freaking coffee, and you didn't. Now he also went on and on. It was like, oh, what are you doing here? I just, this is your fault. Whatever. Also, by the way, Lise was probably the most inappropriate person in that whole deal. You want to know why? Because she's got her alcoholic boyfriend who she knows is struggling, and she's going to sit there and say, don't you drink while I'm here. By the way, I'm going to order a glass of wine.
And garbage wine at that.
Sure. I'm not a wine guy, so whatever.
Generally, and this is some snobbery coming through, but you're like, give me the house wine. I don't care. Just make sure it's red. That's you just saying, I don't know wine. Which is fine. You don't have to know wine. And it's a lot cheaper to buy the house wine. But also it's literally like, oh, you're getting drunk on afterburner whiskey. And so now I'm going to get some garbage wine while I'm holding you to this thing. Also, to his point, Garibaldi brought this up. You're going to bring me here and bring up all this stuff telling me that we're here to chill out and relax, and you're going to dump this on me?
Yeah.
I am curious though, because she mentioned something about, I'm learning more about what's going on at Edgar's Industries. There's some stuff really concerning me. I need your help on this, Michael. I need your help. I wonder if she's uncovering some of the telepath research stuff that he was up to.
Maybe. Did this read to you? Like, so you remember, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? We got Franklin, what he's going to do after the show is done. He's going to take this other job in 6 months when other dude retires and the show's over.
Yeah.
Like this is Garibaldi's like post-show exit plan. Like he like, cause you're talking about like, hey, have you told Sheridan yet? No, I'm waiting on the right time, blah, 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 blah. Like he's planning on moving back to Mars with Lise, right?
I think so. And I think they really shone a light on it too, where he's like, Sinclair's gone doing his thing. Ivanova's gone doing her thing. Franklin's going to go back to Earth. Like he went through the list of post Babylon 5 stuff. Yeah. This is setting up his life afterwards too. He's going to be chief operations officer or something over at Edgar's Industries.
I bet he's more than that, because he's going to be the owner, like co-owner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like maybe she's chairman of the board. He's CEO or something like that.
He's president and she's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's going to be, but he'll be the husband that comes in and everybody's all like, right, you're not really my dad. He's going to be that kind of a deal, right?
Like, sure, Mr. Garibaldi, whatever you need, sir. Idiot.
Right. Except Garibaldi's literally going to be the guy in charge. Like he's going to be Elon Musk walking into Twitter and people are like, okay, whatever. Oh, shoot, you are in charge. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is really happening. Wow.
Right.
This was
and
funny.
You're going to put a
minute.
big X on our building and then flash it all night long into the neighbors across the street, into their bedroom windows.
God. Oh, we could go on.
Remember that last year? Did you see those last year, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When they first made that change and he put the thing up on the, oh my God.
Dude shows a lot of confidence. There you go. Okay. It's wow.
So can we talk about Lise finds the stash? Clearly the stash is being hidden.
Mm-hmm.
This is the I don't want you to see it stash. Because if you got alcohol in your house and you don't care, you know where you put it? Out where people see it.
Right out in the open.
You put it up on the cabinet where, that's the alcohol up there, right? And Garibaldi just goes full bore into justifying his drinking. I mean, this is, and I'm sitting here, I was like, this is what alcoholics do. Not alcoholics, this is what addicts do.
Yeah.
When you get caught in the middle of your deal. And I swear, Jeff, at one point, Garibaldi's talking, he goes, yeah, that's the ticket, see?
Right?
Yeah.
I'll do this one. I'll say this.
I got it now. Yeah, this is my reason why it's okay. See?
Yeah. Real quick, I got somebody outside the door. I'll be right back. Just give me a sec.
Go do it. Jeff is going to go attend to, I'm sure he's being a good dad. Well, I mean, Jeff is a good dad, but I'm sure that's what's happening for him over there right now. So anyway, yeah, if you guys saw the Brent Watches video, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, Sonny. Hey, listen, let me just take this opportunity. If anyone out there is struggling with any substance, alcohol or otherwise, or anything, please make sure you seek help. Really, really, please make sure you seek help. It is important to be your true self and to go through recovery. And it's always one day at a time. And it can be hard. I hate seeing Garibaldi go through all of this. Like, I mean, I get it from a dramatic standpoint. Like, you kind of have to. You can't go through 4 seasons of what Garibaldi's been doing as an alcoholic and not being an alcoholic and not get a section where he falls off the bandwagon for a while. Like, it's perfectly normal with what we got going on there. Okay, I've vamped long enough. Jeff is back.
Hi. I can cut that out if it's easier.
Yeah, I was just encouraging people that if, like Garibaldi, they find themselves in a space of addiction, to make sure that they seek help. And that it's actually really important in being your true self and getting into recovery. And it is what it is. So
it's a good thing. Good message. Thank you for doing that.
Sure.
Thank you for the space.
There you go. So Garibaldi just justifying everything, and Lise comes in and she gives it. She's like, this has ruined your life twice before. And my big thought really coming out of this is not the Star Trek message, Jeff. No. This is not what I'm saying, but this is something to pull out. Like, listen, if the people that love you in your life are saying this is not okay for you, it's a good idea to listen. And if you find yourself justifying it, that's a good clue that you need to have a wake-up call and you want to get control of it, because they're not just telling you that to ride on you.
Right.
Like,
and it applies to it's not just drinking, right? This is your job, your relationships, and all those things. Like, the people that truly care about you, when they tell you that person is toxic and not good for you, don't just take them at face value, but listen, give them space. Don't just justify it. If they tell you your job is killing you, listen to them, right?
Yeah.
Like, they care about you. They really do.
Yeah. Yep. I had not in an addict way, but kind of in that about a year or so ago, I'd been in a season. You were kind of with me through this, Jeff. I was in a very busy season of life. I had a lot going on, and it was actually my friend Matt, who was my old podcast partner. He and I were getting together. We'd been working on a project and stuff together. That was not a podcast. And he just, I remember he looked at me. He's like, dude, you're doing too much. You have to scale something back. You've got to, and it was really that conversation with him that made me just sit back and kind of go, okay, this one really cool thing that I've been doing that's really hard and taking up a lot of space, it's preventing me from doing all this other stuff. And so, and again, it's something that I would have just been like, oh, I can handle it. I can do it. I just got to power through it and get through it and it'll be done. Like, stupid. Anyway. She gives him the no booze while I'm here. And then he goes and has a drink.
Yeah. It's 1998 or whatever this thing came out, so I get it. But even now, I think we know that's not how you approach someone, who's fighting addiction. But it's understandable, I mean, it's so complicated. Addiction is a disease that hurts the people suffering from or fighting the disease, and it hurts the people around them. And so it's tough. So it's really easy to drop those ultimatums and stuff, but they are not helpful for all of the reasons that we saw in this episode. And so, but also I get where she's coming from, you know.
Well, and even the no more drinking while I'm here.
Pretty selfish.
Well, not just selfish, but also ineffective. Because, okay, he can pour it down the sink. I can not drink for 3 days or 4 days or whatever. And when you're gone, like, it's okay to do it while you're not here. That's what your point being. You know, like.
It also hit me like she walks in the room. He's clearly, you know, been hitting it, you know. And it's like, does alcohol not stink in the future? That dude cannot smell good ever.
No. Right. Well, I mean, even when he walks into a meeting room, like everybody's got to be like, dude, I mean, because even if you've been drinking, you're like kind of sobered up the next morning, you still smell like alcohol.
I remember
it's still coming out of your pores.
I remember so many years ago when I was working in HR, we had someone who was at work and they were drunk, and it's interesting. And they pulled this on us. It's not was not against our policy to drink at work. It's against our policy to be under the influence, you know, at work. And so they were saying, I'm not under the influence. I'm fine. Like there's no big deal at all. And so we were meeting with them and talking to them and trying to, you know, get to the bottom of stuff, and public sector. So we couldn't just snap our fingers and send them going. Right. So he wanted a union rep to come in. And I was like, cool, we'll go find you a union rep. You sit in this small meeting room, like, you know, 4-person meeting room space, just sitting here. I'll go grab a union rep for you. Knowing what I was doing, I closed the door, and I took about 15 minutes to go grab that union rep. We opened the door. The smell hits us like a ton of bricks. Union rep says, oh, God, yeah, send him home. Problem solved. Right? Like, there you go. But not with Garibaldi, apparently. Maybe afterburner whiskey, that's the thing. You know, the burn happens afterwards, and it's all gone or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think this is probably a plot hole they didn't think through, or maybe they did think through and said we just can't worry about it because it'll ruin whatever they got going on.
Yeah,
like I think that's the real world answer of what happened.
Yeah.
So, but I think we're agreed. This whole piece led to this one little conversation that's setting us up for something in the next week, because that's what this episode we're talking about. What's setting us up for where we're going, right?
Yeah.
We're going to need you now more than we've ever needed you before. Or we're going to do something really big with you. And his alcohol is going to totally have him drop. I mean, that's what the whole vision at the beginning of the episode was, right? Yeah. Like he's going to drop the bucket or drop the bucket. He's going to, what's the word?
Ball.
He's going to, thank you. I knew it began with a B. He's going to drop the ball, and bad stuff's going to happen. And hopefully he's going to get confronted, and he'll find his way out of the bottle before the end of the show here in 7 episodes.
Yeah, maybe this will be his rock bottom. Maybe he'll be responsible for the death of millions or something. And
oh no, I hope not.
Well, I don't want that, but you know, depends on what rock bottom is. Very personal for every person. Yeah. So maybe he'll hit
just
that
2 or
thing.
3.
Yeah, or none. Maybe just a lot of material, right? You cost us millions of credits. Oh God, I can't believe it.
There you go.
It's Babylon 5 though. I don't think it's going to happen that way. It's
cost Lise her company.
Ooh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
totally see that,
because that's bad. That's awful. But
so
I think we want to finish with Lennier. Yeah. So I want to talk about Sheridan and Delan and their relationship piece here. Delan is trying to exercise her unilateral until Za-ness. And she's doing that, sending Lennier out. And was she inappropriate not to involve Sheridan?
I don't think so.
I don't think she was.
I think Sheridan was inappropriate in how he responded to the whole thing.
I agree.
I've been working up a good mad all day. Why?
Oh, well, no. We got to back that up. Okay, let's talk about how boss Delan is. He's, and she kills the entire thing by going, yep, you're right.
Yeah.
He's, and she's like, yeah, it was inappropriate for me to do this, and it was inappropriate for you to not do that. So we're both at fault. I've admitted mine. Now you admit yours. Like, dude, she ninja'd that whole thing.
There's a great book. It's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Chris Voss was the lead FBI hostage negotiator for a bunch of years. Retired from that and then got into coaching corporate negotiations, and he wrote this book. It's great. I will straight up own there's some pretty toxic masculinity in some of his stories, but you don't have to read his personal stories. The techniques he uses are great, and that's one of the big things is just take the elephant off the table. Yep, you're right. You are correct. Well, I don't think we should. Yep, you're right. I agree. Boom, no argument. Years and years ago, I took over management of a program, and the program was terrible. It gave horrible customer service. They were the government. They didn't have to give customer service. People were required by law to use them. What I would do, though, is I'd go meet with the customer base, and they were ready, loaded for bear. They were going to scream, and they were going to yell. But I walked in, I said, hey, my name's Jeff. I manage this organization. I'm new here. But what I want to tell you I've learned is that we have done a really, really good job in becoming a barrier to you doing your business. And I'm sorry. I'm here to talk about what we're going to do. And you could just watch them deflate. It's like,
I'm going to start calling you Emperor Turan. Like,
I like that.
Look at that. Listen, I don't need a buzz. I need like a hand clap or something. That's a cool Babylon 5 cut right there.
That is good. That is really good.
That's a good Babylon 5.
I'll give you one of these.
Oh, yes. Dude, it's just, man, we need to get back to some it's a little late now, but we can get back to some reviews and stuff. We've gotten some new ones, and I missed that part of our show.
We could just do a whole episode to catch up on them and just hit that on every single. I'd be good with that. Like, it's a great drop.
Just all the oh yes. So I want to read my note here. It says during this whole to reference your part of sure, I've been working up a good. I mean, that's a good Southern way of putting it. I've been working up a good mad all day, and now, and he gets to the point. He's like, now I'm apologizing, and I wrote down here. It's like Sheridan's learning what marriage is all about. Right. Like, I don't know about you and your relationships, Jeff, but that happens to me all the time. Like, my wife will do something, and I'll be all like, and like I'm justified and I'm right, and then like I go to talk to her about it, like she's gonna apologize, and at the end I wind up being the one apologizing, and I'm like, how the hell did that just happen?
And she says like
all the time.
She says like 4 words. You're like, and you this, and then this, and then blah blah blah. Yeah, and I'm really sorry that I did. Yep.
I said that's just how smart my wife is and how stupid I am. So
well, you're not alone there. You're not alone.
She's amazing. But I was like looking at that and I was like, they're just married. That's all. Happy wife, happy life.
Amen to that. But yeah, I think, and I think too, it's a real thing. We've had a fear that's been validated through a lot of the 4th and 5th season of Delan just becoming Mrs. Sheridan. And this episode, she wasn't. And that was great. And the thing is,
that's a great point, Jeff.
Sheridan was mad about it.
Jeff, I mean, that's so, we both said that we didn't hate this episode. We didn't love it though. Like I'm sorry, we both said we didn't love this episode, but we didn't hate it.
Yeah,
It was fine. This episode featured a lot more Delan and Sheridan central to what was happening versus the whole thing with Byron and the last bunch of episodes. We've talked about it. Sheridan and Delan seem very relegated to a sub character level and not really doing much. I wonder if there's just sort of a key to this show that like it needs to be Sheridan and Delan, like at the Sheridan, Delan, and I mean, because it was Ivanova there for a while. They need to be central to the plot.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a Sheridan Delan thing or a Londo Jakar thing, the very long night of Londo Malari, you've got those are your 2 power characters that
they're going to carry a show.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Jerry Doyle and Michael Garibaldi, that's not you.
Yeah, which is fine. There's a reason you're supporting. And you're great at supporting. It's good. But I did though think I thought. Well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to make a reference. I'm not going to make the reference. Go ahead.
All right. I do think Delan was doing her job and Tilza doing her stuff, sending people around, whatever. you could make an argument that you update Sheridan on it, but he shouldn't have to be updated on all the Ranger movements and things going on.
It's not his job.
Yeah, he's got bigger stuff he's got to worry about. That said, Lennier shows up with the stuff, kind of jumping on that a little bit. Just he shows up and he's very specifically only talking to Delan. And then Sheridan kind of pops. He's like, "Hey, you did a really great job, kid. That was nice. Thanks for doing that thing." And just the most snarky, passive-aggressive, well, we live for the one, we die for the one. And I was like, oh, he's saying he lives for that one and dies for that one, kind of forgetting that Sheridan is also the one, I think.
Does he know that Sheridan is the one?
I think so. Was he there?
Well,
He wasn't.
okay, so it's been a while since we've had a good the one talk. Like, so we learned in War Without End. I mean, and this is kind of where we changed our opening intro piece too, like to kind of riff on that, was Sinclair is the one who was, and Delan is the one who is, but Sheridan is the one who will be. We learned that in War Without End. But as far as the Rangers are concerned, the one is whoever their intel is.
Mm-hmm.
So Lennier might not actually really know that Sheridan is the one who will be. He's focused on the one, just the one.
The one.
Which is Delan right now.
Because if I remember back to War Without End, I was like, Lennier was there. But no, it was Marcus that was there. That wasn't Lennier.
Yeah.
So maybe not as passive-aggressive as I thought.
Yeah, but even if Lennier knows that Sheridan is destined to be the one, he's not the one yet.
Right.
So fill all that snark, boy, because he's got the girl that you got friend zoned over, brother.
Yeah, he's feeling that.
Yep. So Lennier does the thing that we saw him do in the training op episode where he goes into the cold store. Okay, help me out. The ships that he got attached to, those were Centauri ships, right?
Yeah, warships, cruisers, I think.
Okay. They very deliberately showed the logo, and I'm not familiar enough. Like, you show me a Klingon logo, I know the Klingon logo. You show me the Romulans, I know the Romulans. I still don't know the Narn and the Centauri logos yet. Sorry, guys. Still my first time through. Lennier was doing the Star Trek thing, though. I'm gonna use two right here back to back, Jeff. It's like, why have a pilot on these ships?
Right?
If all you could do is say, hey, go do this really complicated maneuver, computer, why have a pilot?
Just stay on your ship and feed it lines. Do that.
Just tell it what to do and let the AI take over. It's Chat GPT in the future.
Well, okay, hold on. And I'm going to ride your buzz because, oh my gosh, season 2, Strange New Worlds, the episode where they all lost their memories, the Lotus Eaters episode.
Oh yeah. You know, a lot of people didn't like that episode, but I did.
I thought it was an original series episode, right? It's just, this is classic Star Trek showing up on a planet and having this stuff happen.
Sure.
But there's a scene, Ortegas, she's the pilot, and she doesn't know who she is, and she's freaking out, and she makes it to her quarters because there's a really cool light path that shows you where you're going. Very, very convenient. And she's in there, and she's like, the asteroids start banging the Enterprise, and she's like, computer, what do we do? And like the computer's like, you are the pilot. This is your problem to solve. Do you want to change course? And it hit me. I'm just like, she could fly the ship from her quarters. She could just lay in bed in her gym shorts and underwear and be like, make your heading 413 Mark 6. Done. You don't have to be there. Then who cares how much air they made up the ship has this week to serve your plot? It doesn't even matter anymore. Just go fly the ship from wherever.
All you got to do is have an open comm line to the ship.
So
you're good
simple.
to go.
And apparently,
literally, it's a drone.
And apparently, all you could just need a light energy trace through jump gates that really sounded more technobabble than anything I've heard on any other sci-fi show because I didn't understand what they were talking about.
1,000% what I said. I was like, that is Star Trek technobabble to a T.
Yeah, I'm like, this doesn't. What? I'm like, this thing felt pretty out there. I don't understand it at all, but it sounds like it shouldn't work. But it does. It works great. It works
Yep.
perfectly, apparently.
So Lennier finds the proof that they need. I had a problem with this, Jeff. It didn't strike me last week, but it struck me this week. Like, so they send Lennier out to look for this proof that the Centauri are involved because they suspect the Centauri are involved. Everything this week was revolving around, we have to find the proof that they're involved. We have to find we have to find proof to see if they're involved. We need to find the proof that shows us one way or the other if they're the ones who are the ones doing this. No. They're guilty. We need the proof that they're guilty. We'll take any proof that shows us that they're guilty.
Yeah.
But we need that proof. And I was like, I don't think that's the way that's supposed to work.
And this isn't even proof.
Yeah.
This is
that was the Centauri ships. You saw the Centauri ships attacking and completely obliterating this other group.
Mm-hmm. I saw Centauri ships doing that. What I didn't see was the Centauri government ordering it or anything. It made me think of the Tregati back when we first met Sheridan. So here's a Minbari cruiser showing up, busting some things up. Are the Minbari response? No, they're rogue doing their thing. There's nothing that tied this to the Centauri government at all. What it does is it poses the question, hey, Prime Minister Londo, can you account for these ships? Because we have the markings of these ships on the video. I'm assuming they have the whatever. Can you give us the records of where those have been? There's some proof or closer to proof. This was a video.
Yeah. We're going to go to war over this whole thing. That transitions us to this. Jeff, another Centauri war.
Yeah.
How many Centauri wars is this series going to have?
All of them.
I mean, my gosh, the Centauri just cannot stay out of a war. Like, jeez.
Yeah, at all. There's no.
And with that, Delan finishes the episode by hugging Londo because she knows what's about ready to happen.
There's a beautiful scene, powerful scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put this at Mira Furlan's feet. I don't think this was a very well directed scene. She's struggling, right? She cries afterwards. She's got the whole thing. It did not seem in character. The crying totally did. I'm just the way she did it, leaning against the wall, her facial expressions, her expression. It did not feel very Delan. The hug itself and what she said and Londo's reaction, that whole thing was great, but kind of the precursor and then the afterwards. I think it was the precursor, right? Because before she was kind of leaning up against the wall like, oh my God, this is going to happen. And she was crying and then he happened to walk by. That just, I don't know. It felt very poorly directed. It felt really uncomfortable and not in line with just the acting in the whole thing. And I don't want to put it on Mira Furlan. But I could be wrong. I don't know. It took me out. It took me out of the beautiful moment.
Well, Jeff, with that, why don't we get out of this beautiful moment and let's talk about that part of the show where we do boil it all down and we see what beautiful moments this show contained. What are the deep moral messages? Is it holding up a mirror to society? Is it giving us hope we can be better in the future? And how is it doing that in a uniquely Babylon 5 way? Jeff, you get to discuss this week. You're going to rate this on a scale of 0 to 5 white stars to see just how strong that message is and how Babylon 5 it was delivered. So, Jeff, how many white stars are we giving Darkness Ascending?
This one had a lot in it. It had leadership lessons, right? We talked about that with the negotiating and talking about things. It had stuff around humanity and working with someone with a real disease who's expressing it in a pretty out of control way. But I think what this one really came down to was the importance of having confidence in what you believe, the patience to see that through, and then the fortitude to be able to sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed in order to achieve that belief. I think those foundational to this episode. Lennier, he has a duty to Intilza and the Rangers, and to his heart, both. Delan is the one, and his unrequited love have tasked him with getting to the bottom of these attacks. He knows that he has to do this beyond anything else, beyond his life, beyond the safety of the White Star that he's on. He has to get to the bottom of these attacks, and that's for the safety of the Alliance, and specifically to him, the safety for Delan. So he works tirelessly. He tries to decode the messages. He defies orders, risks his life, and then he finally brings in the evidence that apparently we needed. His work is going to result in war, right? Like that's where we're going to end up. But right now, the Alliance is in a worse place. They're in this horrible stalemate that will destroy the Alliance for sure. So he did those things. He had that confidence. He did the stuff, and he's moving things forward. But there's also Lita. A lot of this episode is her trying to find that way to care for the people that Byron entrusted her with. She tries reasoning with them. She tries reasoning with different people, with businesses. She's trying to negotiate solutions, but no one's going to hear her out. Earth society can't see past Psy-Corps when it comes to telepaths. Like they've been baked into every part of society and life. So she believes in her cause and offers to sacrifice a piece of herself to G'Kar, taking him up on that old proposition. What I kind of appreciated, though, I mean, it's complicated, but I appreciate in the context of this messaging, her willingness to say no to the offer. All the nuance aside to everything, she said no on it. And I think that speaks a lot to her integrity. The two situations and the people were very different, but we saw in them that dedication to their belief in their cause. And then we also saw the different ways that they handled their personal boundaries and for those causes. Lita would not compromise, willing to say no, but Lennier totally did. He compromises the chain of command, which honestly might not be a thing he values at all, but as Babylon 5 does in its own unique way, it offers us the thought and the lesson, gives us more than one side to it, and then leaves it up to us to decide what that means to us. Personally, I loved how Lita enforced her boundaries on this one, right? Lennier, on the other hand, I don't like, but the show's not telling me what to think. It's offering it to us to say, you believe in it, you're willing to sacrifice for it, but what are your boundaries around how you're going to go for it? I think there's going to be a lot more to Lennier's story. I don't think that this was his big betrayal of the analyst shock that we've been told is coming. Coming. Yeah. But in 2 episodes now, we've seen him directly defy orders to do what he believes is right. Right? So far in both cases, it's worked out well, but I think his comeuppance is nigh. I think it's a strong message. I think it's foundational to a lot that happened. I also think you got to pull some of this out yourself. And so ultimately, I'm going to give this one 3 white stars.
Wow. Fair enough. That's a lot more than I would have given it, to be honest with you.
I just think it had that kind of the help of the leadership stuff, the human pieces that kind of brought it together. And I think, frankly, it was all those things were the story. This was the intent of the episode. So that kind of bumps it up about a white star and a half.
Fair enough.
We're not done.
Well, I was going to say, I guess if you get white stars, that means I get the rating. That means I get to put it on the list.
You got to rank this bad boy because we are developing that 100% completely accurate listing of all the episodes in the 5th season of Babylon 5. Our current top 5, if you're keeping track at home, it hasn't changed very much in quite a while. We got The Very Long Night of Londo Mollari, No Compromises in number 2, number 3, Learning Curve, The Ragged Edge in number 4, and rounding it out, A View from the Gallery. Brent, where do you put Darkness Ascending?
Yeah, I said this was going to go in the top half of the season. This is going to be in the top half of the season, although just barely for me, Jeff. I'm looking at the list. It's not top 5 yet for me. It's not top 5. But I do see Day of the Dead here at number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by at number 7, Meditations from the Abyss, which was what we had last week. Last week was kind of like this one was better.
Yeah.
This one is significantly better. So if Day of the Dead, if Meditations from the Abyss is the best of the right now, this one easily sits up there. So did I like this better than Day of the Abyss or View from the Gallery? Or Day of the Dead. I'm sorry. I think I liked actually Day of the Dead better than I did A View from the Gallery. Because Day of the Dead, that's the one where Morden comes back and Lockley's old girlfriend comes back and all that, right?
Yeah.
I kind of dug that episode. Like, it was a little weird, but my memory says that I liked that episode. So I'm gonna slot this right underneath Day of the Dead.
Okay.
Like, I like this episode. This is in that, like, I like it. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it at all. So I'm going to put this in underneath Day of the Dead, but I could actually see this one bumping up one or two, give or take one or two. Like, I think there's a handful of episodes right here that you could kind of put them in a bag, shake them up, pull them out. And this is just how it's landing, yeah.
Cool. Well, this is the absolutely definitive list until it's not when we get to the season wrap up.
And then it will be set in stone, and it is.
Exactly. Then it's done.
Yes.
And I think a lot of these episodes, Meditations being one of them, this one, another one, when we look back over what they lead to, we might see them. These are ones I can definitely see us potentially looking at pretty differently.
Possibly.
Well, Brent, that's it for Darkness Ascending. Next week, we are watching And All My Dreams Torn Asunder for the first time. Now, we've never seen these episodes before. We don't read descriptions. We don't read synopses. We don't look at thumbnails. We avoid everything we can about these outside of the title. And the fun game we like to play, our prediction game, is where we guess what the next episode is going to be about based on the title alone. Brent, what do you think And All My Dreams Torn Asunder is going to be about?
So the title sounds an awful lot to me, Jeff. If this episode is focused on Sheridan at all, this is the Alliance starting to break up. Yeah. I don't know that this is focused on Sheridan though. So I'm not ready to say that. We know that the Alliance has to last for some time, right? So here's where I'm going to say, I think we're going to catch the next half of this whole plot where everything moves. The Centauri are going to be charged with attacking the shipping lines. I think Londo's going to get railroaded. Absolutely. Because remember, Vera's like, you haven't been invited to this closed door meeting, right? So we're going to get that closed door meeting and Londo's going to get absolutely railroaded by this whole thing. And I'm going to throw out a bold prediction, Jeff. All right. It's the summer. Here in just a couple months, people are going to be, or like a couple weeks anyway, training camp for football is going to be starting, American football, and people are going to be making all sorts of ridiculous, bold predictions that in no way, shape, or form are possibly going to come true until they do. So here's my bold prediction. You know how Londo has always been destined to be emperor? But all the way back in Signs Importance, we learned that, hey, visions don't always come to pass. Londo is not going to become emperor. That is going to get burned to ash. His dream of being emperor is going to be torn asunder. Although it's not really his dream anymore. He'd rather just pass on it if he could have it his way. Because visions in Babylon 5 aren't set in stone. So that's my prediction, is the Centauri are going to get charged. Londo's going to be railroaded and something's going to happen where he is no longer going to be the emperor, because maybe it's fear.
That's very bold. Very bold. But also it makes sense because, like you said, it's not his dream to be emperor. He'd pass it on, but we often forget that nightmares are dreams too. So maybe it's his nightmare being torn asunder.
There you go.
Well, my prediction is much more pedestrian than yours. I'm just going to follow the story ahead, right? So we're either going to dive in right away to that Alliance meeting or be coming out of it. But either way, Londo's going to bust in totally uninvited. He's going to profess the innocence. We're going to see loud, bloviating, Londo again, saying all this stuff, making threats or whatever. They're not going to eat it up. The dreams of unity, the Interstellar Alliance, are going to be torn asunder, and the episode's going to end in all out war, ships firing on each other, and we're going to be back to just that high action that
Is it
we saw.
everybody against the Centauri, or is it everybody against each other because the whole thing is just gone boo?
I think it's everybody against the Centauri for this episode. We're going to find out right here next week. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or wherever you're watching this. Leave us a rating and a review, and please share this podcast with someone that loves Babylon 5 or is just about to fall in love with this incredible series. So until next time.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, man, what's up?
So imagine this. Imagine here we are 2 years plus into this journey. Imagine how much faster we could have gone through this whole series if we had like 200 telepaths doing it with us.
Dude, that would be wild.
Dude, we got Babylon 5 for the second time coming up. We got some movies, we got some new series, we got some other ideas. Look, all we got to do is get them some mics and a camera. Should be good.
Only thing though, I don't think our insurance would cover that.
Only if they find out about it. It's like the trampoline in my backyard.
I don't know, man. I'd say we just get the hell out of here.
Initiating getting the hell out of here maneuver.
We're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
It is about something, isn't it?
You know what it's about? It's about Club 65.
65 in the house.
What is up, y'all? Hold on. Oh, wait. Go away. I'll talk about that here in just a minute.
Okay. I'm glad it's the right screenshot. That could have got real awkward.
Hey, listen, if you guys have made it here to this portion of this show, Jeff, I tried to hint at it at the beginning of the show because the number one rule of Club 65 is we don't tell people what. And we don't tell people what Club 65 is. Like, you're either in it or you're not. Like, if you know what Club 65 is, no one has to tell you. If you have to ask what Club 65 is, that means you're not in Club 65. If you're here right now, you are officially part of Club 65. This is our after show. This is the after party. And again, don't tell people when people say like, what is Club 65? Just say you'll either find it or you don't.
If you know, or you can also just say nothing.
Yeah. Hey, please be sure, drop in the comments the number 65, just so we know you guys were here and you guys can all high five each other virtually. This is also the spot where we talk about some stuff that didn't quite make it into the show just because things didn't circle around to it. Or maybe there's something you wanted to say that you forgot to say that you didn't get to say. Jeff, do you have anything you want to circle back to from tonight's conversation?
I don't think so. Let me just double check.
I have one thing.
Why don't you pull it up?
Yeah. So here, I have this one thing I want to show you. All right. I'm going to pop it up here on the screen. All right. Did you notice, Jeff, this chess set?
That is wild.
Yeah.
Like,
right?
It's like the world's worst Venn diagram and chess.
Right. So I did Google Babylon 5 chess set because I was looking for this image rather than having to go like screen cut it or screen crop it out, this image, or when I Googled Babylon 5 chess set, it showed me images of Brother Theo from Passing Through Gethsemane playing on a regular chess set.
Yeah.
So regular chess still exists in Babylon 5 Future. This is something different.
Yeah, this is very different.
Whatever this is. And this is reminiscent to me of Star Wars. Remember when Chewie and I think it was C-3PO were playing at the table and Han's like, you better let him win because he rips off people's arms if he doesn't like it. Was it C-3PO or was it Luke?
That was C-3PO. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it might be that, but yeah, I want to know how to play this game. Wow. Like I still want to know how to play 3D chess from Star Trek.
Seriously. Yeah.
Like I still can't figure that one out. And then also I'm noticing these wicked awesome candlesticks.
Yeah,
right
those
behind.
candle holders are great. That's a cool just setup. I mean, even it's like a red cup kind of like the whole little scene is really great.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I think Delan shops at the same interior design store that Quark shops at. So
yeah, well, they were shopping. Maybe they saw each other. It's around the same time.
There they go. Can you imagine playing checkers on a dual circular table like that?
More than I can chess.
Yeah.
Because all the different rules, like I'm thinking, like, up 2 over 1. Well, what does that mean on a circle?
Exactly.
Although, like, looking at this image, it's making me want to just like have a family chess game out on the open, just kind of, that.
And have it like mid game.
Yeah. Just like
not set up for the start of a game. Like just it's mid game always.
All the time. And maybe occasionally you move, or maybe it's just a cool thing that you change the play on it from time to time. So people think you're playing some really, next level chess stuff.
Right. Here's what you need is you need like a token that's got like white on one side, black on the other, or something like that. And so what you do is like you lay it out and whatever color's up, like that's whose turn it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so like just as you're walking by, you stop, you look at the chessboard, you look and see whose turn it is, you make the next move, you flip the coin over, and then you go about your day. And like when somebody else is walking by, they come by and they see whose other move it is, and then they make the next move. And so it's like everybody in the family's playing the same game, and you're playing both sides. It just whoever's turn it is when you walk by, if you stop and make the next move.
It reminds me, I know there are people here in Club 65 right now that did this. Yeah. I was one of them, but this is in the 80s for me, but chess by mail, where you'd each have your chessboard set up with your stuff on it, but like you'd play with someone on the other side of the country or whatever, and you'd mail your moves back and forth.
That was only something I ever saw on TV.
Oh,
I never saw that be like a real thing.
Yeah, I had a couple. I only did 2 or 3. I don't know, a couple. I was in grade school when I did it. I think, and I think it was actually, now I think about it, it was 5th grade. Had a student teacher, Miss Eugenio, I think her name was. And she set us up with her brother's class who was down in the Bay Area. And so like we had friends, and we had, I think I had someone down there. We did 2 or 3 games by mail. So it's kind of cool. I'm sure there are people here in Club 65. We are many of us of an age. So I'm sure drop it in the comments. Who else has done a chess by mail?
If you say I've done 65 chess by mail games,
you win.
Then you win. Yeah. Because that means you didn't just stay for the club, you stayed for the whole thing. So, Jeff, that's going to do it for us, guys, this week here in Club 65. Make sure you guys get your gear. bit.ly/B5 Club 65. Jeff's going to pop that up down there at the bottom. And with that, Jeff, let's get out of here for today.
Let's go
see you guys next week. I want to go press play. Yeah, I want to go press play. Let's find out what happens. Can only get better from here, right?